Get understanding and insight.
This is a true story from the Bible as recorded in the book of 2 Kings chapter 12 verses 19 to 21 and 2 Chronicles chapter 24 verses 17 to 27. At the end of this story, we have listed true deep lessons that are of great benefits to you. So, please listen to the end. God bless you.
When Joash was only 7 years old, he became king of Jerusalem and reigned for 40 years. His mother's name was Zibiah, and she was from Beersheba. He was a righteous king who did what was right in the eyes of the Lord all the years of Jehoiada the priest. Joash decided to restore the temple of the Lord and instructed the priests and Levites to collect the money due annually from all Israel to repair the temple of God. Unfortunately, the Levites did not act immediately. So the king summoned Jehoiada, the chief priest, and asked him why the Levites had not brought in the tax imposed by Moses the servant of the Lord and by the assembly of Israel for the tent of the testimony. To remedy this, a chest was made and placed outside the gate of the temple of the Lord. A proclamation was issued in Judah and Jerusalem that they should bring to the Lord the tax that Moses the servant of God had required of Israel in the desert. All the officials and people brought their contributions gladly, dropping them into the chest until it was full. The king and Jehoiada gave it to the men who carried out the work required for the temple of the Lord. They hired masons and carpenters to restore the Lord's temple, and also workers in iron and bronze to repair the temple. The men in charge of the work were diligent, and the repairs progressed under them. They rebuilt the temple of God according to its original design and reinforced it. When they had finished, they brought the rest of the money to the king and Jehoiada, and with it were made articles for the Lord's temple, articles for the service and for the burnt offerings, and also dishes and other objects of gold and silver. As long as Jehoiada lived, burnt offerings were presented continually in the temple of the Lord. After Jehoiada's death, the officials of Judah came and paid homage to the king, and he listened to them. However, they abandoned the temple of the Lord, the God of their fathers, and worshipped Asherah poles and idols. Because of their guilt, God's anger came upon Judah and Jerusalem. Although the Lord sent prophets to the people to bring them back to him, and though they testified against them, they would not listen. Then the Spirit of God came upon Zechariah, son of Jehoiada the priest. He stood before the people and said, "This is what God says. Why do you disobey the Lord's commands? You will not prosper, because you have forsaken the Lord." However, the people plotted against him and stoned him to death in the courtyard of the Lord's temple. King Joash, who had forgotten the kindness shown to him by Zechariah's father, was later attacked by the army of Aram, and all the leaders of the people were killed. Joash was severely wounded and later killed in his bed by his own officials who conspired against him for murdering Zechariah. The story of Joash's sons, prophecies about him, and the restoration of the temple of God are recorded in the book of the Kings. These are some great life lessons that can be learned. 1. You need people to help you grow strong in all areas of life. 2. Always have mentors you can always look up to in righteousness and all life's endeavor. People that will always help you stay on course in life. 3. Never forget favors shown to you by people. Always reciprocate as much as you can. Number 4. It is not enough to start well. The end is more important than the beginning. Finally, number 5. When we seek God by living in line with his words, he will be found of us. He loves it when we put away sin and evil doings. Now, what other lessons did you pick from this story? Please share and comment below for others to be blessed. God bless you.